Okay, third video, still learning that YouTube interface about uploading. Hopefully the microphone's working. I know I touched it a couple times. Looks like it's working. Alright.
Sir.
There are no games happening at this time. I guess everyone else is working but me because I'm still on vacation.
Outboard launch sequence initiated. Crew
So
to
I will
stations.
finish this planet.
I repeat, crew to stations.
So how would I run this from objective to objective? Probably start at defending the rocket. Then I would have to do the escort that forces me to go to the drop-off bunker. And then from there I could search for that black box. Cyborg difficulty 6. Paragon. This is the loadout I've been using for many of the for the previous couple videos now. I love the strafing run. I love it because of the cooldown. 10 seconds. You can use that multiple times in a single fight. You don't really necessarily have to kill everyone, but if you can deal damage to every enemy and then just finish them off, the strafing run is fantastic. I love the strafing run. Really the cooldown, 10 seconds. Cooldown is so important with these stratagems. If you just look at the cooldown, 10 seconds on the Vindicator bunker, but that tends to kill your friends more often than your enemies because of how fast it executes. Like some of these stratagems look awesome, like the Triple Thunderer Barrage. Like, yeah, it looks great, but you can use it once, like every 5 fights. I guess depending on how many times the patrol alerts does the alerting. You know, it's like 180 seconds. It's a long time. I mean, the Shredder's 210 seconds, but people tend to consume one entire stratagem for the Shredder just so they can cast it, or they can just so they can call it in at the shuttle, like when everyone's extracting. You'll see some people like spend 3 whole stratagems on the Shredder just so they can do 3 nukes at the end of the game. That's absolutely something I would never do, but again, some people like to put on a show at the end of the game, or at the end of the planet. So, what do I have again? So strafing run. I'll probably keep the strafing run. The Paragon can use a lot of ammo if you're doing a lot of shooting. I do like the ammo pack. You could argue that it's probably overkill. If I'm efficient with ammo, which I tend to be, the ammo stratagem would be enough. Well, let's do a guard dog then.
Commencing mission.
Now, I don't remember the maximum number of magazines a player can have for the Paragon. But, as I said before in a previous video, everyone spawns with half the maximum number of magazines they can carry. So, I will just pay attention to that when I spawn in. At the bottom of my player box shows that I have 5 magazines, so that means my maximum is 10. So let's start by getting to the rocket. Secure the area first. I have to reload already. This gun can go through ammo pretty quick. I know I said that already.
Equipment on its way.
Let's get defenses up first.
Defensive equipment inbound.
There's a turret at the rocket. I think in a previous video I said if you have the rail cannon turret, you don't want it at the rocket. It clips
Combat zone.
the rocket at all. It will kill the rocket instantly. The area is not safe yet, so I don't know if I should be starting it. I need to get the guard dog in front of the turret. This other player might start it.
Defense drop incoming. Defensive stratagem incoming.
They used a couple static fields that slow down the enemy, which I think are fantastic. I love static fields. You can put one directly on the rocket. There's multiple uses for it. You can put one on top of a turret if you're afraid that the enemy is going to get within melee range of the turret rapidly. You can put one on top of that. It doesn't do any damage. It just almost sets their movement speed to 0. It's just fantastic.
Defensive equipment
If you ever find yourself in a static field, you can always just dive out of it. You can just dive out of it, and it's really not a big deal. But it's really very effective, and you can imagine because it does no damage that it doesn't really pose a threat to your friends. because your stratagems affect your friends as well, remember. So I like the really safe stratagems because sometimes your friends are also your enemy, so I don't want to be my friend's enemy, so sometimes it's good to have a little safe stratagem or two that you can cast often. So they're stuck in the static field. I'm going to combine it with the strafing run. Doesn't look like I'll get anyone. He killed everyone pretty quick. But you can combine stratagems. You can think of different combinations. There's a lot of stratagems, so you can think of different combinations that would work out really well. So this rocket's going to lift off soon. And we're going to run through the static field. Just dive out of it.
Get down. Cover.
Looks like this player is a trident or a laser player. Oh, he just decided to walk off the map.
Request accepted.
This player is a laser gun player for now. That may not always be the case, but currently they're using the trident, and it seems they didn't bring ammo, or they don't look like there's someone concerned too much about ammo. I see plenty of laser gun players calling in ammo when they spawn in, which doesn't make sense. I'm running low on ammo, but we're already at the escort. I'm not going to take 5 seconds or 7 seconds to get ammo. I'm just going to keep moving. I have a pistol if I need it. It doesn't make sense to stand around with the escort to just get ammo. It's my own fault I didn't call in ammo earlier. So I'm not going to make it any worse by calling in ammo at an awkward moment like that. I'm going to get these guys in the bunker.
Deploying defensive asset. Helldiver deploying to combat zone.
We have another guy coming in, so I might just call in ammo now. Keep moving, keep moving. Anytime you hear that Helldiver is coming in, you should be staring at your character. Like, literally staring at your character. You cannot focus on anything else. The game will try to land that every time. So, we're at an awkward point after dropping off the escort, where we're calling in our stratagems, which I guess is fine to a certain extent, but now we're just wasting time. We have multiple fights here. Arguably multiple unnecessary fights. We're using EATs to fight hulks that were called in because we didn't kill patrols. So we kind of like, we held each other up by calling in stratagems, which actually caused a fight, and then we used those stratagems to actually kill our enemy in the fight that was unnecessary to begin with. So we're looking for that black box. You may have also noticed that when I grabbed the ammo that it also gave ammo to my guard dog drone. Anytime you pick up a box of ammo, it resets the drone's ammo. This guy's going to die. This guy's also going to probably want his hardware, his items. So we're going to have to wait for that. We have a patrol up top. The radar shows a red dot, a possible spawn point for one, but I can hear them, so I know they're there. We're still looking for this black box. Sometimes it takes a while to find it. More often than not, when you have a large area of where an objective could be,
defensive equipment inbound.
it is actually in the dead center, where the icon is. Oh, here it is.
Defensive
You
equipment
will find that when you run to the very middle of an area where an objective could be, that is exactly where it is. So what I do is I run to the center all the time, and then after running to the center, I spiral outward. Because if it's not in the center, then it'll probably be close to the center. So no one ended up finishing off this last one. We just summoned another group of enemies. I'm going to pick up this guy before I reload. I'm going to finish reloading before I pick up this guy. I need to get bullets in my gun first, in case I need to protect him while he's down. I have two Trident users on my team here. They're both using a laser weapon that acts like a shotgun. laser weapons do not consume ammo. They only need to be reloaded if they overheat. So rather than shooting that last shot that would cause it to overheat, just don't shoot. And you should have infinite ammo. And these two are doing just fine. Now what gets me sometimes is that if I do have an ammo bag on, that if they do have a laser weapon or well, any laser weapon, they just still go up to my pack and grab ammo out of it. Which I sometimes find myself agitated over. These guys are doing pretty well. Holding off the right side. I don't want to also get in their way and accidentally shoot them or anything. But we should be able to get onto the shuttle, so I'm going to go on. This guy's going to, like I said before earlier in this video, this guy's going to use a shredder just as we get on the shuttle, because some players just like to see the effect of a shredder at the end of a game. So that player, I guess, saved an entire stratagem just for that moment there. And then here we go with another player saying epic finale. But after you see like 500 of them, it's just not interesting anymore. But it's not like it wastes any time. It does kind of gimp you in the sense that you're only using 3 stratagems because your 4th one is dedicated to that shredder that you want to radio in at the very end of the game. Unless of course you're going to use the shredder for like more of like an effective purpose, like on top of like a AA battery, or, and by AA battery I don't mean the literal battery, I mean like the battery of cannons, the cyborg AAs, or if you're going to do it for the Illuminates, the Illuminate energy pod things. I don't even know what the official name is. Let's go to bugs. I think I'm going to do like difficulty 7 or 8. Maybe just 7.
Hellboard launch sequence initiated.
I'm probably going to do like a one-handed weapon.
I repeat, crew to station.
We have an assassination target to kill, which, again, in a previous video I said I like to just land on and just kill immediately. I have no interest in having to search for them or find them. I like the double freedom against the bugs because each unit within a patrol can actually alert the enemy. So you need to kill all 3 quickly. And this particular shotgun allows you to do that. And also, despite being a shotgun, it's still effective in killing armored bugs with the fire debuff.
Commencing
I'm
mission.
going to get the Avenger because that works against any organic enemies.
Mission commencing.
It's a very strong damage over time, DOT. And if you ever hit your friends with it, the only way to really save your friends is to pick them up at the right time when they fall. And you have to do that, I believe, 3 times. And if you can do it quickly enough and time it perfectly to pick them up every time they fall, at that moment the damage over time will stop. You just have to be very quick. And it also helps if there's like a healing drone nearby, or if someone else has like a rep 80 that's healing the person that got affected by the Toxic Avenger. So I'm going to kill these real quick. I should probably call in my Toxic Avenger because we do have the assassination target coming, which is a high armor target. And then when it gets low on health, it starts running faster. I killed him pretty quick. This guy died. I'm going to get some toxic material on that larger tank bug and it should die. So the Toxic Avenger can be very safe compared to other things. So you shouldn't be hitting your friends with it. It can be a very accurate weapon. And you don't need to have a constant stream of toxicity coming out of the Toxic Avenger. You can just do a couple presses and that's it. You don't have to hold down the trigger on it.
Stand by. Equipment on its way.
sure why he did that.
Dropping equipment.
He's calling in more eats.
Reload.
Defensive stratagem incoming.
Seems no one else is doing the
Deploying
objective
defensive assets.
except for me. Which is fine,
Equipment on its way.
as long as they defend without alerting the enemy. Okay, well. Guess I'll just keep doing this objective then. Northwest.
You scumbag. Reload.
Okay.
Defensive equipment inbound.
How about a nice cup of liberty? To the skies!
Reloading. Reload.
So these eats that they're using, these disposable rockets, they should be able to use them on the bug's nest. Or if that one player is saving their stratagem
Equipment on its way.
for the shredder just to use it at the very end, maybe instead they will decide to use it on the bug nests, which would make our lives easier.
How about a nice cup of
That was my fault there.
Deploying defensive
So
assets.
they do have the eats. They have these disposable rockets, they each have one. They can just spend it on the nest. I have a Toxic Avenger which can take care of the larger bugs, so they should know that. But they seem to not care, so
Dropping equipment. Stand
I guess
by.
we're gonna have to do it the
Equipment on
slow
its
way and call in the nuke ourselves. Now it's not a nuke that explodes immediately, you have to set it off yourself
Defensive stratagem incoming.
by running up to it.
Defensive equipment
This whole time they could be
inbound.
using the eats, I don't know why they're not doing it. Okay. So this might get a little dicey. Okay. That player's dead. And again, this all could have been prevented if they just used their rockets on the nests themselves. Or if that one player decided to use their shredder. But I think they just want to save it till the very end. When it's like,
Supplies
when
incoming.
it doesn't matter at all.
reloading.
During the extraction.
Hey, you. Turn yours down. Eric Cox! Play this game with us.
This guy's talking with an open mic and doesn't know it's open.
Stand by. Equipment on its way.
Bye.
Dropping equipment. Defense drop incoming.
You can go to my house now.
Equipment on its way. Supplies incoming.
I'm not sure what we're all
Defense
saying.
drop incoming.
I'm not sure. Now here the static field's a little awkward because we do have to retreat. We have to retreat, frankly. So we're gonna start off. Okay, so
Engaging target area.
I'm not sure why we were reading that long if he was just gonna use the shredder the whole time. I'm still not sure what's happening. I don't think that was nice at all. It was a waste of time. I don't know why it took so long to use the shredder. Now he wants his stuff, so we have to go back. And I don't blame him. I would want my stuff too, but. Not sure.
Jumping.
So I'm gonna need ammo soon. I have only
Jumping.
9 reloads left. I think maximum
Andrew, I'm
amount I
diving
can
into
carry
hell.
is 72 on this. Or is it 64? Could be 64.
Engage.
So I'm probably gonna call it. No one else is helping me with the patrols. Probably gonna have to call in ammo. So I'm gonna call in my ammo bag at this point. Even though I didn't have it the whole time, it's still good to have.
Incoming.
Said he might hell dive with us.
Dropping equipment.
Okay.
Watch yourself.
So that's a
Good.
Thunderer barrage. I'm gonna get back. It's an area deny stratagem.
Dropping equipment.
Prevents enemies from entering that area for a while. Well,
Dropping
I
equipment.
guess I could say everyone. Prevents everyone from entering that area.
T-minus 1 minute. Defensive equipment inbound. Defensive stratagem incoming.
You could also argue that for area deny, you could also use something like an incendiary bomb or something with a much shorter cooldown. Remember that barrage is, I think, has like a 180-second cooldown.
Dropping equipment.
So you would go through, you would use it once, and then like possibly like 4 fights would go by, and you still couldn't use it. The cooldown's
Deploying
pretty
defensive
high on
asset.
some of these.
Move!
I don't know why.
Deploying defensive asset.
Reload! On the double!
I'm not sure what he's doing. Oh, he wants to go for these 2 samples up here.
Go, go,
15
go!
seconds.
He wants to go for samples.
ETA T-minus 10 seconds. ETA T-minus 5 seconds.
Reload!
Shuttle equipment on its way.
He's probably going to make a run for as many samples as he can after 3 of us gets on the shuttle.
Deploying
That's what I'm
defensive
assuming.
asset.
Well, I guess not, if you're throwing a shredder. I'm not sure what's happening.
Sounds fun. Or hit.
I don't
Everyone
know
must
if that
get
was
dual
the same
blade.
player. I don't know if that was the same player that used a shredder on those bug nests, or if it was another player who saved a shredder just for the very end.
So Andrew, you've forgotten your roots.
I think I'm going to do one more
Forgotten
game,
your roots.
and then I will save this video, and then I will
Hell,
upload
Daddy.
it, and then I will go back to vacuuming the
Oh, we
house.
are.
Outboard launch sequence initiated. Crew to station.
I mean, Pete's gonna eventually rage quit that game, so.
Crew to
I feel
station.
like-
This guy doesn't know his mic's open. Okay,
Well,
so
he doesn't break
this
his
is
computer
a
in the process,
retaliatory
okay.
strike. So I'm almost definitely
It's
going to
very
take the Toxic Avenger. I don't want anything that's like an explosive AoE gun like the Suppressor or the Scorcher, because we have enemies spawning from underneath the ground. So that wouldn't make any sense to do. I probably want mobility here, so I'm going to go with my one-handed knight. I'm going to want additional damage per second, so to keep it safe and to protect me and others, I'm probably going to take the guard dog here. I'm going to keep the Toxic Avenger. It's going to do ridiculous amounts of damage. I don't know why we're taking nukes to a retaliatory strike. I shouldn't have to explain why that's horrible.
Commencing mission.
A lot of good questions, Andrew.
I
have
might
no
even
idea.
bring another ammo.
Commencing
I'm
mission.
going to bring multiple ammos. I plan on staying
I
alive for a
gotta go
while.
to the gym.
Um,
Might be back.
remember, when you die
Like
and then you
night.
spawn in, you
Just
get
a little
half
bit.
the amount of magazines that you can carry. The maximum amount, you get half. So if you find yourself dying a lot, you might not want to consider. You might want to consider not taking
It's
ammo.
up to you. I mean, I'm gonna be at my house like
Because
5
if you
in
were
the
to have,
morning,
let's say,
so,
the maximum
like,
number of
have to
magazines
go off
on
the
you, and then
gym,
you died, you would
and
only
then I'll
spawn with
probably
half
be there
again.
until
So it's like being a little
11 or 10.
wasteful.
Yeah. and
So
I'll
you can
probably go
imagine
back
how I
here.
feel when someone with a laser gun takes ammo and then they die. It's like double the waste.
Equipment on its way. Dropping equipment. Supplies incoming. Equipment on its way. Stand by. Stand by. On its way. On its way.
So we're gonna have to
Defensive
see how
equipment
well these
inbound.
guys do here. I think I might even take
Deploying
leave the Toxic
But
Avenger
you
out.
loot it. Once you find
wield
I
it.
know part of it for you.
Now hopefully this guy with the rep. Okay, we have 2 rep 80s. We have 2 guys who are
Split it to
who
3.
can heal, and hopefully they
I'll
won't
go to the 2F5.
just keep healing instead
Go
of
to the
dealing damage.
2F5. Then I'll go back to my actual house.
This guy keeps talking.
Yeah.
I might end up actually shooting him.
defense drop incoming. Incoming fire.
So it's already kind of awkward here. Luckily I have very fast regen. We have 2 guys with rep 80s, but I was going to say no one's getting healed. They should continue to heal them. So turrets on retaliatory strike. Oh, this guy just ran in front of my Toxic. I have to be very quick picking him up so he stays alive. There we go. The problem with turrets is that they deny, or they can deny an area, especially this one. This one denies an area.
Firing for effect.
So on a map where the enemy is already on alert, and the enemies come up out of the ground, because it's so random, it limits our movement. So it's actually worse. Like right now, look how horrible of a position we're in. I'm about to die. I don't know why there's a static field here. So you can see we really can't move anywhere. And because this is like an arena, it doesn't let you move anywhere already. So to restrict your movement more, it doesn't make sense. So if I go over here, I can die. I'm already kind of blocked by this rock. And we have these static fields in the bottom right. So I actually feel like we could lose this because of our stratagems. You could argue that I should just kill the equipment then that's blocking. See, look how tight this is. I should probably just kill that. This isn't helping us at all. I don't think people understand how like restrictive in movement an arena is. It's very tight. You can't also have stratagems that restrict your movement. Like even this incendiary bomb, you could argue restricts movement. We have enemies coming up out of the ground, right? So
Dropping equipment.
if they come up under us, where can we run? Where can we go? The only option would be to fight. And if you only have one option, then you're really taking a chance at losing. So they actually casted a stratagem, a barrage for an area deny, so now we can't go there for a while. We have a static field up here now, so our movement is really restricted. All these stratagems really restrict our movement. We're not even halfway done yet. I'm gonna reload my Toxic Avenger. Thankfully this thing is dead. This guy casted something. Oh, a static field. So we're not in good shape right now. I don't know why he did that.
Helldiver deploying to combat zone. Stand by. Equipment on its way.
Anytime you hear that message that someone's coming in, stare at your character.
Defensive stratagem incoming. Stand by.
All I'm doing is applying this toxic Avenger stuff, this like sludge. That's all I'm doing. Makes them really slow and applies a very aggressive damage over time. You just have to be quick picking up your friends if you happen to get them with it, which I showed earlier in this fight.
Deploying ordnance. Equipment on its way. Deploying defensive assets. Defensive firing inbound. Over.
Movement's a little restricted here again. Restricted by our stratagems. It's important to get stratagems that don't restrict your movement.
Dropping equipment. Dropping equipment. Defense drop incoming. Incoming fire. Defensive equipment inbound. Deploying defensive assets.
Could be in trouble here. Yep. that static field.
Request
That was unfortunate. You could argue I could have been quicker with the dive, just diving. But instead I prioritized just trying to get the Toxic Avenger on them. See, now I don't have my stuff. So this is like a cascade of events.
on its dropping equipment.
Cascade of events. Oh, I'm getting shot by my friends. I don't know.
Defensive equipment inbound. Engaging target area. Extraction confirmed. Shuttle inbound. ETA T minus 1 minute 30 seconds.
Engage! To the sky!
Defensive equipment inbound.
Looking for us!
Engaging target area. Equipment inbound.
Reloading!
Reloading!
ETA T minus 1 minute.
If you're not sure what direction the Impaler is in, the Impaler is that very large tank bug that has like the 3 tentacles that come up out of the ground. If you're not sure what direction the Impaler is in, you can look at the center tentacle and then see which side has the skin on it, that dark skin.
Hold out.
And then so the Impaler bug would be in that direction.
Defensive equipment inbound. Defensive equipment inbound.
To the sky!
So the dark skin is on the back of the tentacle,
15 seconds.
and so you would just, in that direction, find the Impaler. I'm applying this slow to all those enemies, so really effective with the Toxic Avenger. Shuttle's here.
Throwing grenade! Jumping!
I'm waiting for the obligatory Shredder missile. Not everyone can get on yet. Oop. Okay, that was close. So that player managed to jump right next to the entrance to the shuttle. So just keep in mind that on a retaliatory strike like that, where you're in a very tight arena, that because your movement is already restricted, you don't really have a lot of space, that you don't want to further remove the space that's available to you. Okay. That will conclude this video. Hopefully you learned a little something. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Sequence